Hi there folks, welcome to this episode of Michael's 3D World. Today we're going to be showing you how to hook your computer and your printer up together wirelessly so you can control it from your computer instead of having to take a micro SD card or an SD card and transfer your files from your computer to your printer and back and forth and such. There's lots of advantages to doing this. What we're going to use is the CanaKit Raspberry Pi kit. It's the B+ kit. And we're gonna, here's a little, if you don't know what a Raspberry Pi is, that's what this is. A little circuit board right here. Has Ethernet connection, a couple USBs, 4 USBs, HDMI port, and a micro USB, that's it. Drew a blank there for a second. And a little place to put a micro SD card in it. And this is the CanaKit. I'll leave the description and the link below, but I'm gonna show you how you go about setting up this between the Raspberry Pi and the OctoPrint program that we're going to install to show you how we can connect the two, the computer and your, whether it's a laptop or desktop or and your printer together via the internet. You got to have a wireless router in your house in order to make this happen. Most people do have a wireless router. I think that's the primary way you have to do it. I'm not saying that's the only way, but this is the way I'm going to show you. I've got one of my printers currently hooked up this way. I've got 2 more printers that I'm going to hook up. I'm going to show you how to do the Creality's CR10 that I picked up recently, and I want to add this feature to it because I find it very handy to be able to sit at my desk, dump programs over there, don't have to mess with a jump drive SD card of any sorts. I can just send it right to the printer, hit print. I can actually move the Z, I can move X and Y, I can purge from this remotely as well. There's all kinds of really cool things you can do, and I'm going to show you how to do it. I learned it recently, and I now have 2 printers without it, 1 printer with it, and I really enjoy the printer that's with it because it's just a quick click, design, print, go, no getting up and down out of my chair to hit start. I know that sounds lazy, but when you're trying to keep 3 printers going, the less up and down I can do, the better. Anyway, let's get to it. I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, the next step in this process is you're going to need to download 3 items from the internet. You're going to do a Google search for OctoPi. You're going to download that. You're going to download what's called a Bellina etcher. You're going to download that because you'll need that to flash the chip. And you're going to download Notepad++. You're going to need Notepad++ in order to read the code, and that particular program does not wreck the code when you do it. You can read the code, and then you'll be able to make some edits that we're going to need to make. Read the code so we can make some edits in there so we can steer it toward our router and give her our router information so it understands what it's reaching out for and creates a signal for the router to pick up on and assign it an IP address. So let's do those 3 things right now. Okay, like I said, we're going to do got us a nice little SanDisk 32 gig micro SD. That's going to fit into our Raspberry Pi. It came with an adapter. I'm sorry, I'm down here in the small bottom part of your screen right now, but we're going to go ahead and plug that in to the adapter and plug that into my other adapter that gets it into a USB port. And we're going to go ahead and stick that in the computer, and we're going to watch what pops up on the screen. Because what's going to happen is it's going to tell you that this disk is not formatted. What would you like to do? So if it says that, don't format your disk. Now this one, it didn't say anything. So right now we got a USB drive. Its folder is empty, which is fine. That's what it should be, is empty. But it is showing up as a folder. Next thing we want to do is go out to OctoPi. Do a quick Google search for OctoPi. And you'll see download and set up OctoPrint here. So we'll go ahead and click that one. And right here where it says download OctoPi 0.17, we want to do that. So click download, and you'll see it downloading down here in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen like it shows on here. And this is going to take a few minutes because I don't have great internet speed, so we'll be right back as soon as this is done downloading. Okay, now that we've got that file downloaded, we're going to go ahead and, I think I'll minimize this. Or actually, I'm going to go look up. Let's do a Notepad++. You see up here at the top, Notepad++. Let's go look at that one and download Notepad++. And what you're going to do is you're going to go for the one that's 7.8.8 is the one. So we're going to click on that one, and then we're going to click download. And we're going to see down at the bottom left of the screen here, now that is currently downloading. Once it's downloaded, you can double click it and it will install it on your computer. You're going to pick English. If you're in the US or you want to do the English version, and then you're going to follow the next steps, and you would agree to the, and you're going to let it make these changes. You say next. You take all the defaults here and say yes, and create a shortcut on the desktop. You bet, let's do that. Other people may not. I don't mind it. And it's completing setup. Now you're finished. Now you have Notepad++ over here. Here's what the program looks like. And so right now, this is just showing you some of the different things going on with it. We're going to minimize this for now. Let's go find ourselves Boolean Etcher. So let's just type in an Etcher and see what pops up here. Flash OS images to SD cards and USB drives. So you're going to download your Boolean Etcher. We're going to click that. And now what you got, so you want to download for Windows. If you got Windows, I'm assuming if you got a Mac, you download it somewhere else. But I'm only talking about PC here because that's the only thing I know. And I also, I'll admit, I don't know it very well. I know enough to be dangerous. So Boolean Etcher is now downloading in the bottom corner of my screen. So that's we'll wait for that to get done. And then we'll get started with the rest of the process. Pretty easy so far? I think so. All right, now we have the Boolean Etcher here and the Notepad++, and we also have the OctoPi downloaded in a zip file in my downloads folder. So I think I'll go ahead and pull that over here so we can see what's going on. So let's go ahead and open up Boolean Etcher. And this is what it looks like. It's very simple. So we want to flash from a file. So we're going to click that, and it's going to take us to what do you want to flash from. As you can see, I've downloaded OctoPi more than once here. So let's just go ahead and we double click this, and as you can see here, it's going to automatically jump to flashing it because it's picked up that you have a device that you want to flash it to, and you're going to hit flash, and it's going to show the progress bar. It's going to say, do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? You say yes. So right now it's decompressing and flashing that drive. And that's progress. Now my computer's not crazy fast, but it's decompressing. And now it's going to be flashing it. You can see the progress bar there. So far, this is what we're doing to create the chip. This is that 32 megabyte SD card. This is what we're doing to flash the OctoPi program onto that chip, so that'll be there. We're getting into the home stretch here. So this is actually a very simple process overall. I'm trying to bring it to you in easy to understand step-by-step instruction. You guys can follow along, and you can pause this video and complete each step. And like I said, I'm not going to be able to help you much on troubleshooting. I'm just showing you how I did it and how it works, and we'll go from there. There's lots of good YouTube videos out there on how to do different things, especially when we get into setting up your router access point for this. I'm going to show you how I do it on mine, and mine's a Netgear router. It's just about done flashing here. And like I said, I want to show you how to mess around with your Netgear router. It's an R7000 is what I have. Other routers may vary, but they should be very similar in process as to what I'm going to be doing with this one. Now it's doing some validating, and we'll let that do its validating. Now you're going to see you need to format the disk drive before you can use it. You do not hit format disk. It'll wipe out everything you just did. So you cancel out on that. And it also will pop up, please insert disk into removable disk E. Don't do that. You're also going to see F is unavailable. That's the drive we just made the etch to. You know, F is unavailable. This location, the device is not connected or disk inserted. Just close that out. And then now we could flash another. If we had another chip, we wanted to do like 3 or 4 of these at a time, we could flash another one and another and another. And then when we're done, we can just close out. All right, now that we've got that completed, let's go ahead and open up Notepad++. This is what you see when you open up Notepad++. Now what you want to do is go and do a file, open, and you go search through your drive. Now you're not going to see any of your etching. So what you're going to do is unplug that chip and plug it back in. And when you plug it back in, it's going to say you need to format this disk drive before you can use it. You say no. Now we're going to go here and double click the F drive, and it's going to say you still need to cancel. It's not accessible. Format disk, no. Not accessible. This may not be the proper way to do it, but this is the way I'm doing it. Now we're going to go boot F here. And you're going to see this pop up on your screen. You got to get to this. And we're going to look for OctoPi WPA supplicant. Now there might be an easier way to get to this, but this is the way I've done it, and this is what's worked for me. So anyway, we want to open this one. We're going to click it and hit open. Now you're going to see this open up. This is opened up in Notepad++. This is all the coding that has been put in on the chip. Now what we want to do here, so we can direct it to our router, our wireless router, is we got to put some information right inside here. And you want to, with the information you're going to put, it has to be in between these parentheses here. So what we got is a WPA. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of these hashtags. We're going to get rid of that one, that one, that one, and that one. And in between here, this is going to have the SSID. This is where you're going to put your router login name. I'm just going to call this test try 1. Let's just call that, let's just pretend that was my login name for my router. And then you're going to put your password here. So right there, we're going to put I don't give out my password. Now that's just for fun, folks. This is where you're going to put your sign-in name and your password when you log on to your router. Make sense? Next thing we're going to do is go down here where it says United States, if you're in the US, or if you're in France or in Germany. I'm going to go ahead and remove this hashtag or pound sign from there. And we've got the changes made necessary for this to pick up our router. So we're going to hit save here. Now that has been saved to the flash drive, and we can close out of this. Now it's Raspberry Pi time. This is your Raspberry Pi, and right back here is where you're going to stick your SD card. But I want to show you some other stuff real quick. So what I did here is I printed me a case. This is going to be a case with a camera mount that'll hold a Raspberry Pi camera. We'll do another video about how to hook up that camera. But for now, this is the case I printed. I'm hoping it fits. So there's several different kinds of cases out there. Go out there in Thingiverse. I'll put a link down below for this one. This one's supposed to hang on the side of the machine possibly and have a camera view so I can see what's going on, so I can watch it remotely. But there's several different types of cases. Let me show you one here. There's one back here that I did that says OctoPi on it. And there's another, just a plain black case here. And it has option for a cooling fan mount. I find out I don't need a cooling fan on these. They seem to be maintaining anywhere between 49 and 55 degrees on the CPU, which is fine. So without further ado, let's peel this off and see if this fits into there. And then we'll throw in the chip that we just etched and see if it works. Now that it's cooled off, we'll see how well it peels off. My son I bought this printer off my son. He switched this off plate for a piece of mirror glass, and so far I've had really good success. Once it's cold, it completely lets go. It is so flat and smooth on the bottom, but when it's printing, I haven't had it fail yet. So, see, that one stuck pretty good. Now, if it sticks really good, nice thing is you can take a razor blade, just get underneath there, pops it right loose. And you don't have to worry about the razor blade messing with the glass. Then I got me a little squirt bottle of alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, and every time I just clean it really thoroughly with a paper towel, and I've had really good luck. Not saying that's the only way to do it, but that's worked out pretty good. I've still got the Ender glass on the other two, but boy, I tell you, this mirror glass is actually, I'm pretty impressed with how well it's been working. You got to keep it clean though. You got to keep it spot free. Nice thing about the mirror is you can see if it's clean or not. Anyway, let's go ahead and peel this. I printed this with a brim just because I think it helps. I've done stuff without the brim and with the brim, and I'm not too unhappy with how the brim performs. So that's cleaned up there. I think this will slip in here. We'll see. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Maybe this print's not exactly good. Haha, it won't fit. It won't fit. I think it would fit without the heatsink on it, but I don't want to run it without a heatsink. Well, it was worth a shot. Good news is, I'd already printed another case that fits it just fine and dandy. 4 screws in the bottom and it's ready to rock. Hopefully I got that in the shot. So good thing is I printed another case, so this fits in there just perfectly. Goes like that. So I can put it in the case. But I'm going to show you what it should look like without the case on it, so you can see what you're looking for. Can I get you in the shot here? So let's just set that there for now. I'll bring you around to the other side. Here's our freshly etched chip. We're going to go ahead and stick that in. We'll fumble our fingers McGee here. So we're going to stick that right in there. So now that's inserted. Next thing you want to do is add power to it. So if you got the CanaKit, like I put down in the description, you've got power you can add right here. Plug that in. And we could actually get it, we could turn it on and get it to recognize right now if we wanted to. But the other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. This is coming directly off the printer. We'll plug that in there. And let me slide this back. Right here in the front of the Ender 3, there's our plug-in right there. The Ender 3 V2 also has a plug-in on the front. On the CR10s, it's on the side of the control box. So as you can see, we've got this plugged in. We're ready to power it up. Now I'm going to flip on the power here. With a CanaKit, it comes with a switch. There is a way to direct wire these to your power switch. I might do that in a later video, but for this video I'm just using the one that came with it. As you can see, the red light comes on. Now the green light that came on next to it, as long as you see it flickering, that's a good thing. That means it's booting up. So I think, see, it's booting and it's doing Raspberry Pi things. If it was a solid green light, my son tells me that would be a problem. Good news is it's not a solid green light. It is solid now, but it wasn't when it first booted up. So what we'll do is we'll go and check out. That may be bad, that may be good. We'll check it out. It went back to flickering. It didn't stay green. That's good. Let's go back over to the computer and see what we got to do to recognize this the Raspberry Pi, the OctoPrint software on the computer. Right now, we should be able to connect wirelessly via what we just put in here, which would be way cool, right? All right, the next thing we're going to want to do is go in here to your Google and start typing in your IP address. And this is pretty standard for all your Netgears anyway. Sign in. Once you're signed in, we're going to look for attached devices. And now we're going to see that we have, I know that OctoPi here, number 21 and number 27 are my other two printers, and it looks like OctoPi 10 has showed up as something new. Sweet. So now we can, the nice thing about that is we can go in here and we can see that it is connected. And the cool part about it being connected, so this is let's just copy this right here. And let's just go to a new tab and go here. Let's see what shows up. And then this is what you get. This is your setup wizard. You can start. Thank you for installing OctoPrint. This wizard will guide you through the final steps of the OctoPrint. So let's go ahead and hit next. And here's where you can sign in for your new username and password. Follow this right on through. All the steps, it'll set it all up for you. I've already got an account, so I'm not going to set it up again. But just, keep access across control enabled. Just follow this step all the way to the end. And once you get that established, what's really cool about it then is you can go over here and add a bookmark. And you call it this name here. And hit done. So once you've added a bookmark to it, the cool part is when you come in here, see now you can have a bookmark that's right here that you can just click on, and it'll take you right to your control. So there it is. Because I didn't do it, it's going to ask me to try to set this one up again, and I don't need to set this one up. Let's just try something here. There we go. That's enabled. Go hit next. Check interval. Enable connectivity check. Sure. It's giving me a port. It's giving me the host IP 8.8.8.8. Blah blah blah. That's all cool. Plugs in. Enable plugins blacklist processing. Hit next. Default. So you can set up your name of your printer, the profile. So let's just call this one. We're going to call this one a CR30 since I've already got the the Ender 3 set up. We're going to call this a CR30, and the model generic RepRap printer. Next, for your printer safety, never leave it. It gives you all those warnings, right? You hit finish, and now we have this one set up. I just went ahead and went through it anyway. So it's showing the printer profile. Always connect to the server, so we're going to connect. Your printer's firmware is lacking mandatory safety features. It gave me a warning on that. That's fine. But now I can actually go here. If I had a webcam plugged in, you'd see the webcam pop up here. But I can actually move the Z up and down just by clicking here and here now. Let me get my camera set up over there, and we'll be right back, and I'll show you some of the things you can do from here. Now, for ease of demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and show you on my Ender 3. My other one works. That other card works just fine. Everything we did works just fine. But since I've already got a camera set up on this printer, I can show you some stuff here. So right here, you can see that I can press Z, and the Z moves up. And I've got it set up for 5mm for extrude. I could extrude if I was at temperature. I could easily go over here. Right now, these are turned off on the temperature control. I could turn, if I wanted to change my bed temperature or tool temperature, say I wanted to warm it up because I want to change, what do you want to call the filament? I can go ahead and put 200 in here, hit enter. and you can see 200 shows up right here. It shows my bed temperatures at 36.6. These are all add-ins or add-ons, plugins. I think they're called plugins that you can add onto here. You got to go to this toolbar, and you can start going into the plugin manager, and you can start adding all these plugins in there. So, error tracking, file check, firmware check, floating nav bar, uh, full screen plugin, all that different stuff you can add on to your plugins here. I'll just scroll through mine slowly here so you can see nav bar temperature plugin. That's up here at the top. Firmware check, file check. So there's a 2 times temperature reporting fix. So yeah, you can add all these in as plugins after you've got this installed. So, and that's what I've done here. So then you can start seeing like the OctoPi or the Raspberry Pi is running at, the processor's running at 60C. It's normally been at about 49 to 50. It just got done with about a 13-hour print, and it's been working it pretty hard. But now you can see the tool is already up to 172, and the bed's still at 36. Now, if I wanted to turn this back off, all I gotta do is type in 0, and now the bed's gonna slowly cool off, or the tool is gonna slowly cool off. So it's pretty handy. I can control a lot of stuff from here. So I can even move the X, the X. I can move the Y. So you got some control from here. The other nice thing about this, what I really enjoy, is when I go to print something, you can upload a file. So if there's anything I want to upload, like this file here I want to print next, it'll upload. Once it's uploading, and you see it here, let's see where to go. Tower style right there. All I gotta do is hit print, and the thing takes off. It'll warm the bed up, it'll warm the tool up, and it'll take off and print for you. And the cool part is, while it's printing, if you see something that you don't like on the camera, see, I can double click this and everything gets really big. It zooms it up full screen. Double click back, I'm back to normal. But I can hit cancel print or pause print from here once it's printing. So you have some control, some access control there. And the cool part is, if you type in that address right there into your cell phone under your web browser, I'll do that right now. I'll show you. So we're going to type in the 27 one into the web browser while I'm at home. My phone is now hooked to the internet as well here. And it's going to load. Let's see if I can show you here. It's loading. This is a small picture, I realize, but you can see the same things right here. Now, if you watch on this screen here, this is going to be cool. This will blow your flipping mind. I'm going to just go ahead and hit Z up on my phone. Look at that. I'll hit the X over. This is all on my phone. I'm doing this right here. Both hands are here. No camera tricks. Watch here. Boom. Z up. I can control it. So if I had a clear table and a clean table, I could actually, if somebody was down here cleaning off my table and make sure it was prepped for the next job, I can actually select the file on my phone just like I selected here and hit print, and it would take off from my phone. So this is kind of nice if you're somewhere else in the house. You don't have to, you worry about leaving these printers unattended. Well, if you got it on your phone, it's attended, because you can look at it with, especially if you got your camera hooked up to it, and it's as easy as easy as Raspberry Pi to hook a camera up to it. You just get one of your regular Logitech or cameras and plug it into the USB port, and then when you go to this control, it will be showing the camera shot automatically. Now, the reason this doesn't show it here is because it says it's loading, but I don't have a camera loaded onto that. I'm actually going to do another video on, I'm hooking up a what they call it, a little Raspberry Pi camera, I think it is, that's going to plug directly into the board. I'm going to try one of those cameras on this particular printer just to see what it does. But isn't that cool? There's different things you can do with this. I mean, this is exciting stuff. And I have all this is currently in a print right now. It's been printing for, let's see, it shows the time. It's been print now for 24 hours. It's got 21 hours left. It's about a 43 hour, it said, print time. But it's a new headphone stand that I designed and I'm printing off. It's massive. But it's like the CR10. I've got to do it because it's a big printer. But yeah, the cool part here is I can do the same thing here. I can look at the temperatures here. It shows where the bed's been at 60 and the tool has been at 200 forever. See, it shows where it's at here. You got your G or your there again. You get the same stuff going on here that you can see the video of it live. So if I was away, I could do the same thing. I could hit cancel. You got your G code viewer here. I think this will load. Let's see what it does. Yeah, see, it'll load and it'll show you each path as it's doing it. Let's see what happens here. So right now it's showing what it's currently doing. And since it's way up top here, it's just doing a little rectangle in the middle of this thing. And then it's going to come over and it's doing that one, then it's going to do another one. Anyway, you see some terminal stuff. I've got it recording time lapse, so it's actually taking a snapshot of it after every Z move. And then when it gets done, it'll do a say like tool holder. I did a tool holder here. Let's just for fun here, I'm just going to go ahead and download that. And I'll show you kind of what the time lapse looks like. There's done. I'll open it up. Oops. Hang on. I'll drag it over. It's a short one. I just made a little tool holder. And unfortunately, you see the lights will go on and off here because I wasn't really worried about it. Pretty spiffy? I thought so. But in case you want to see a time lapse of it being built, you can do that. Alrighty. Well, that's the long and the short of it, folks. Let me go ahead and close these down. By closing these down, you don't. The printers will keep going, but if you restart that, if you do something like this connection, if you restart the connection or do anything to restart this while it's in a live print, it can be a problem. Just to give you an idea, it shows what state it's in. It shows its connection, that it's operational, and I think it'll show printing here once this one comes up. Nope, this one's done. This one's done. See, this shows the state it's printing now. So it's just some cool information, and you can have this all at your fingertips with your phone too, while you're walking around your house or anywhere that you got you're hooked up. Now there is a way to do this remotely. I'm not going to cover that in this particular video. That might be in a future video, but this gets you wirelessly connected to your printers, and it's some good stuff. Once you get it working, it's just fun. I found once I got this working, I really hated using the SD cards, but because this is so much slicker. There you have it, folks. There's the long and the short of how you hook up your 3D printer wirelessly to your computer via Raspberry Pi. It's that simple. I didn't think it was that simple when I first started it. It was confusing to me. I laid it out like this, hopefully make it easy for everybody to understand. Believe you me, I'm going to use this as a reference tool when I got to come back and set up another printer a month or two from now. If I get another printer, I got to go back and I'm going to use that video. I'm going to have to watch my own video to remember how to do it, because this isn't something you do every day, and that's why this makes a great reference guide. I hope that I can stumble my way through it next time. I hope you guys have good luck with it. Please leave me comments and feedback. I would much appreciate it. Let me know if there's any errors in there. I could, I'll tell people at the end of this video, please read the description down below. If there's any updates or any changes or any points of interest that need to be looked at, I'll do that in a time, if it's like 10 minutes in, I'll put 10 minutes, this feature needs to happen. I'll put a description down there in the description to help correct the video later on down the road. Hopefully I've got everything right. We'll see. You folks, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining Michael's 3D World today, and This print right here, it's been going for over 24 hours. And it's my new headphone stand holder. I built one, orange one, you might have seen that in the video. I don't know if I showed you guys that. Be right back. Some of you had asked if I could show it to you. Well, that's pretty simple, right? This one's getting pretty fancy. So we're making something a little fancier, a little cooler than this. I'm just trying a bunch of different stuff, different designs, different prints, different sizes, different infill patterns, different supports, and different things. Just gotta learn all the different things. So when I do get a project that I want to do, I know exactly how I'm going to tackle it, how I'm going to design it, and then how I'm going to slice it, and then what material I'm going to use to make it out of. So all I can tell you, folks, is time in the saddle, time in the saddle, time in the saddle. Get familiar with your printer. Print lots of stuff. These rolls of filament are anywhere from 20 to 30 bucks a roll. You get a lot of stuff out of here. I mean, this thing's going to be a 42 to 44 hour print here. It's not even going to burn up half a roll. But I'm also learning what this thing's capable of. This will be the biggest print volume that I've done so far to date. So, like I said, I'm practicing when I'm preaching here. I'm learning right along with you guys. So get out there and have some fun. Learn some 3D printing. Expand your mind. This is Michael, and I'm out.